What's good, fam? Welcome back to Unlockable Character. We are at the car wash, about to head home on Friday afternoon, guys. What a week. We had that big storm last night, but luckily it didn't do as much damage as people thought it was going to, because man, that was a huge storm. Helena, I think. It made landfall as a category 4, which is 140 mile/hour winds. Absolutely nuts. But yeah, guys, lots to talk about. Been a long week, almost at 20,000 subscribers, which is amazing. Insane, to be honest, with what I thought the channel would do and what it really is doing, you know? Like, I can't believe how good the growth is in terms of just being consistent. And what I'll tell you guys is that authentic long-form content really works on YouTube. If you put positive energy out there and it's really who you are, then you don't have to fake it. It's not really something that's like performatory, you know what I mean? You're just kind of along for the ride with someone. And all different kinds of people can do it. You don't just have to do POV driving, you know? That same principle of authentic long-form content where you're true to who you are and people are kind of along for the ride, people love that, you know? And I found that people put the videos on as audio in the background. They sometimes don't even watch the videos. So just think about all those things. If you're thinking about starting a YouTube, you know, you're more interesting than you probably realize. Now, I'm not saying everyone should start a YouTube, but you know, there are things that you're probably good at and passionate about that people would love spending time with you, you know, just audio visually through a video if you create one while you're doing whatever it is you do, you know, that you specialize. So there is opportunity on YouTube for everyone. It's not just, you know, POV car content. For driving, you could also do repairs, sales. I'd love to see the experience POV sales wise, you know? I know you gotta probably get the permission of the customer, but imagine, I think there are a lot of people who could be really good car salesmen, but they don't give it a try. And if you are a really good salesman, it would be sick if you had some Meta Ray-Bans and just made a sale and walked people through it and they just basically saw it as a YouTube video, you know what I mean? That would be so sick. I'm definitely super interested in the next generation of wearable technology that allows you to capture multimodal formats of information like audio, video, text, photos, and then in real time use AI to either layer information on top in augmented reality. So in real time, whatever you're looking through, there's a smart display that is both recording information. It has cameras to take in, you know, audio, video, and at the same time it's got a connection to the internet. It has hardware that is either being used by itself or coinciding with your phone so that you can, you know, beef up the amount of total hardware you can use for possibly on-device LLMs, which are large language models, AIs, to then on the display of the smart device, the wearable, to actually show you like a heads-up display or an augmented reality display. And that could be so useful in so many different areas. For drivers, in a helmet, a visor that has a lot of information about the track. It's using AI to assist with their driving style by adapting a driving line that works best for them, their car, all of the conditions, all of that could be linked into a smart heads-up display. Is that a table? That's hilarious. I just realized there's a table behind that truck. Not sure why that truck gets so close. I think people don't have too much spatial awareness, you know what I mean? Like, this guy sees there's a table on the truck in front of us, but still decides to speed up on the right side of the lane. He's probably gonna try and go by now, watch. He's got his turn signal on. I do notice that a lot of truck drivers apparently are up there with the worst drivers. Altimas, trucks, Teslas, Priuses, Nissan Altima, again, have it 2 times, you know what I mean? That's how bad that car is. And my friend put me onto this. He said the Mercedes CLA, I think, those cars, and especially around Atlanta, I agree with him on those cars. There's the truck. The turbos spool up so fast in this car, it's crazy. They sound mean too. That was nice. Rear-wheel drive is in the softest suspension settings, so it took that bounce without hurting my back too much, but in all-wheel drive that would have been so firm. It would have had less travel, but it would have felt so much rougher on the body. Going to all-wheel drive now. Absolutely outrageous. This time it's a Jeep, but it's a truck version of the Jeep. Notice that, guys. Sounds real good, guys. I think that's an S4. Let's see. Is it an RS3 or an S4? S4, I think. Looks sick though. I can still feel the wind, guys. The wind is still here with the storm. It's pushing the car here and there with bursts. I would say it's like 20 mile per hour wind outside at times. Now what I don't get is a car approaching on the left and just staying there. Makes no sense. I was told to drive defensively and not, really encourage people, but if they come around, just go avoid them. No reason. What is in this trailer, guys? Wood? Leaves? There's nothing in it. It's just leaves at the back, I swear. That's hilarious. It's too funny, guys. It looked like that trailer was full from the back, but it was literally just leaves. The car really allows you to also control the higher RPMs when you drop into them. It's not like you have to be pushing, you know what I mean? It can tolerate sitting at 5,000, 6,000 RPM without being pushed and handling it really, really well. That's That's one, you know, distinguishing thing about this car, honestly. But I'm at stock power levels, so I've yet to see if you push this to 700 plus wheel horsepower, you know, does that drivability still remain there? Because you're going to be pushing so much more power. A little bit of throttle is going to give you so much more horsepower. I just wonder, you know, how that drivability would feel. Guys, I reached out to XHP to see if they would sponsor the car, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe once you get a few 100,000 followers. I was like, okay. All right, guys, all right. Maybe a year from now, I think we'll be in 6 digits, guys. It'll be insane. Now we're coming up on some more traffic now. It's almost 5 o'clock. 4th gear. 3rd gear. Oh, outrageous. Back to 4th gear again. Oh, still, it just sounds amazing, guys. Like, I don't know how else to describe that 4th to 5th. It's sharp, it's snarling. 6 is chill, 5th to 6th. They'll pop on the downshift to 5th. Yeah, it feels great. Oh, even in the wind I can hear it. It is so mean, guys. It is so mean. Too funny. Unbelievable amount of power on top at stock levels. And if you tell me 600 isn't the limit for the street for most occasions, I'm telling you 600 wheel horsepower for a street car is really the limit in terms of what you need. Past 600 wheel on the street, you would need a tire that is specifically for grip, and then you're not going to be able to approach all the conditions you normally would on a normal street tire. You know what I'm saying? So I get it if you want to push past 600, but at that point you really do need to consider track tires or even our compound tires. Sounds insane, and it's pretty windy outside, guys, so it's a good thing I have the windows up. Even with how windy it is, I think the car, the exhaust tone, the note, you could definitely hear it. Is buttery smooth, you know, guys. You have to learn to use the car to hide the weight of the car. It allows you to do so, but you have to learn how to do it with this car, and that's I think just learning how to drive over time, you know, focused in a car like this. And of course with different tires, because each tire will be a little bit different on the car. Insane. Feeling it out right now, guys. Very long stretch. The car was in the stiffest settings in all-wheel drive. Now we're in rear-wheel drive, and it's more settled. Remember, I do have the CS suspension tune on the car, so it's firmer than normal, even in the comfort settings. And then in the stiffest settings, it's firmer than that car before was even, you know, the competition Xdrive without the CS settings. So it's extremely stiff for a car. And I don't have the ability to adjust the dampening and rebound on the suspension myself with like a coilover setup, because this is just a height adjustable suspension. You can only adjust the height with a perch. Everything else is still factory, which means you retain the electronic dampening control system, but... Alright fam, we're back. Camera overheated. Put it in rear wheel drive. Ooh, Wearable's on. Rowdy. Struggling a little bit for traction as I went to the right on the front right side. This thing's blowing smoke. That's hilarious. I really am surprised how fast the rear-wheel drive mode is in this car. It's kind of outrageous. There's so much traction with this car. It's unreal. Like, I saw how close that truck came too. I could sense it, but there was no reason to like jerk the wheel or anything, you know what I mean? To be careful, knowing that rear-wheel drive is going to be different in terms of dynamics than all-wheel drive. All-wheel drive is really just unreal. Unbelievable. The amount of grip and forward, just general traction and direction that you get. It's like the whole center of the gravity of the car changes, even though the car is the same way it was before. It's just that all four wheels are spinning and getting traction instead of just the rear. That sounded healthy. Oh. What a car, guys. What a car. Hear just how loud the wind is outside. Oh, turbo sounds absolutely nuts.